Hamas says it will release an American-Israeli hostage being held in Gaza as part of the ceasefire deal. But Tel Aviv is accusing the militant group of manipulation and psychological warfare, claiming Hamas is trying to sabotage negotiations. Alastair Bunkle filed this update from Jerusalem.
Well, after quite a few days of negotiations in Doha between the two sides and the mediators, during which we'd heard very little, to be honest, suddenly a bit of activity and quite a lot to unpick. So Hamas have come out and said that they will release Eden Alexander, who's a dual Israeli-American national and is believed to still be alive. And they would release 4 bodies of hostages who they haven't yet identified, so we don't know who they are. And we don't know when Hamas is offering to release all 5 of these hostages. Prime Minister Netanyahu, the Israeli Prime Minister, has held a situational assessment with his key officials this afternoon, and they've come back with a statement accusing Hamas of playing psychological warfare and manipulation tactics. And so we have the two sides still apart, as is not unusual, but there's quite a lot going on here. So I think both sides are trying to curry favour with the Americans, who are key to so much of this. For Hamas's part, they are releasing a dual American-Israeli national, and that comes after the White House had direct talks with Hamas through one of the envoys there, something that's unprecedented. So I think this is Hamas trying to say to the Americans, to the Trump administration, you know, we're going to release a dual American national, and possibly some of the bodies. We don't, as I said, don't know their identities. Perhaps they are also dual American nationals as well. Israel is saying that they accept what's known as the Witkoff plan. Steve Witkoff, who's involved in the negotiations here and, of course, in Moscow as well, so he's a busy man at the moment. And the Witkoff plan is to have an extension of the ceasefire lasting a number of weeks when half of the hostages are released on day 1, and then the remaining hostages would be released on the final day if an agreement to end the war had been reached. So the Israelis say that they're on board with that plan. But Hamas say, no, we want to continue with what was agreed many weeks ago, and that is moving forward to phase 2, which would see the entire withdrawal of Israeli forces from Gaza, an end to the war, and the end of Hamas rule in Gaza. So you've got the two sides effectively saying, we're happy to carry on the ceasefire, and we want to move forward, but they have different visions and approaches to that, and therefore it's competing. And we'll see how the Israelis decide to respond, and whether or not they decide to up the ante against Hamas or to try and continue these talks.